Imagine you are the manager of a small bank and you need to keep track of your customer's account and transaction. You have a lot of data to manage and you want to make sure you are making the most of it. That's where SQL comes in. SQL, or structured query language, is a powerful tool for managing and analyzing data. In this video, we will take a look at simple example of how SQL can be used in real life finance project. We'll create a database, insert some dummy data, and then use SQL queries to extract insights from the data. Don't worry if you are new to SQL, this example is designed to be easy to follow and understand even if you are not a tech expert. So let's get started and see how SQL can help us manage our finances. So this is the project. Let us say we have a bank account and we want to manage our transactions using SQL. We'll create a simple database with two tables. One table is of accounts and second table is of transaction. So in the account table, we'll have account ID, account name, balance. In the transaction table, we'll have transaction ID, account ID, transaction date, amount and time. Then we will create some dummy data. So in the dummy data, first table will be of the account, second table will be of the transactions. In the accounts, we will name the account name and the balances. In the transaction table, we'll mention the transaction dates, amount and time. For better understanding, let's start making this project in the Python. We will run this code in Google Colab, which is the open source platform, so that you can directly run this code in a Google Colab. So let's get started. So this is the Python code. We are running this in a Google Colab. In this code, first we will import a library called SQLite 3, which allows us to work with a type of database called SQLite. Next, we will import another library called pandas, which is used for data analysis. The as PD part. So this will give us a shortcut name to the library so that we can use PD instead of pandas. Next, this connection line. So it will create a connection to the SQLite database. Now this memory part means the database will be stored in memory rather than on the disk. Next, this cursor, con.cursor line. So this line will create a cursor object which is used to execute SQL commands on the database. Next, we will create a new table in the database called accounts. This table has three columns: account ID, account name and balance. Next, we will create another table in the database called transaction, and this table has 5 columns: transaction ID, account ID, transaction date, amount and time. After this, we will insert 2 rows of data in the accounts table. This data is for 2 accounts, one for John Doe and second for Jane Doe. Next, we will insert 3 rows of data into the transactions table. So this data is for 3 transactions, 1 deposit and 1 withdrawal for John Doe and 1 deposit for Jane Doe. Next, we will execute a SQL query that selects the balance column from the accounts table where the account ID is 1. So we will print cursor.fetch1. So this line prints the result of the previous query. Now fetch1 method returns the first row of the result, which in this case is the balance for the John Doe's account. Next, we will create another SQL query which will select the total amount of deposits and withdrawals for John Doe's amount. And then finally, it will print the result of the previous query. So fetch1 method will return the first row of the result set, which in this case is the total deposits and withdrawal for John Doe's account. And finally, con.close. So this line closes the connection to the database. So after this, we're running this code in the Google Colab, we'll get the results like this. For the first query, we'll get results like 1000. The second query will get like this. And that's a wrap. We have taken a simple example of a finance project and used SQL to extract insights from the database. We have seen how easy it is to create a database, insert some data, use SQL queries to get the information we need. So whether you are a finance professional or just starting out to learn about SQL, this example should have given you a good idea of how SQL can be used in real life finance projects. Remember, the key to mastering SQL is to practice, practice, practice. Try out the code in Google Colab and see how you can apply SQL to your finance projects. Happy coding. Thank you.